Eric, we talked last week when I was talking to you. You've been through it now. Was it what you expected? Was it better? Was it worse? Was it awkward? Was it fun? How was it going against your former team?
I'd say it is absolutely better than what I thought it was. I was so worried about it being awkward, of course, but then I just understood that when game time came, they were the enemy, so it's pretty easy to put down all that 4 years of relationships I had to go play a ball game. So I felt pretty static the whole time, being able to actually get after it.
We were talking about whether you were going to talk to them before the game. Did you do any conversing before the game, or was it they're not with us anymore?
There's definitely a handshake or two walking in between the tunnel, but no real conversations were had. It was all business.
Lorenzo?
Craig, when you look at the defensive performance, was this hands down the best defense that you've seen, the best performance you've seen out of this defense all season long?
I wouldn't say the best. I would say Auburn is probably our best. When it just came to like the energy of the defense, and us just dominating the whole game. But this is definitely up there. I'm proud of our defense. You know, we played to the whistle every snap. You know, made them count threes. That's really the mentality when it comes to defense. You don't want them to get a touchdown. You want to make them count threes. So I'm proud of our guys today. So I'm just happy, man.
Go next to Ben from Rivals.
Craig, just kind of talk about what you guys did about defense, where you contained Ivanor as well as you guys did, held him to 50 yards. Just what was the key to containing him as well as you guys did tonight?
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't too much. You know, we knew his skill set. We had a good game plan going into the game. How we're going to stop him, how we're going to stop the quarterback. And honestly, we wanted them to throw shots down the field because we felt like defensively our defensive backs could handle those guys and play tight in coverage. So that was pretty much it, just playing tight in coverage, and then when it's time to just get vigilant on the quarterback, just transition when the ball is thrown and just come up and make our tackles.
Go to Jeff next.
Remember when Jaden was in there, he said that you got a little extra juice because you had told the team or some of the guys that Stanford looks down on Cal. Can you talk about that conversation?
Yeah, for sure. So at Stanford, all the 4 years, we've had a couple big games. I know we have Cal, but then we always play Notre Dame. So there's always something we're looking forward to at the very end. So I know they're going to play Notre Dame the last game. So it's always like, there's Cal, and there's Notre Dame. So I know here at Cal, it's like we have Stanford, and that's the one and only. And at Stanford, like, oh, we have so many, it's hard to really say who's our rival at that point. But here it's definition, like, it is Stanford no matter what. So that type of juice is what I gave to the team, knowing that Stanford looks above us as some of the education aspect, but definitely that rival too, is that they have a couple, but here it's just one.
Steve?
I kind of follow up on that. If I remember saying, you're not from California, correct?
No, I'm from Texas.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So what do you know now, 5 or 6 years through the big game, about this rivalry, about the intensity of it, that maybe a kid growing up in Texas would have no idea?
Yeah, honestly, before I came up to Cal, like I knew nothing about Cal versus Stanford. But being up here now for 5 years and just seeing like how impactful it is for just not only the team but I think the community as well. It's bigger than the team. Like every time we play these guys, I mean the people that came before us that set the way. Like we want to play for those guys as well, not just trying to get a win, but we want to play for the people that set the tone before we came in. So. It's a big rivalry, but I'm just happy that we was able to get the win today. And it's the Cal X, not the Stanford X. That's all I gotta say.
Jim?
Craig, you walked with the seniors last weekend. Are you pretty set on testing the waters of the NFL, or is returning for an extra year of eligibility on the table for you?
Yeah, I'm not really sure at this moment, but I'm just gonna let God guide me and just keep praying about it, keep talking to my family about it, and just see what the best option is for me.
Time for a couple more. Go to Mia next.
The stands were easily filled with more Cal fans than Stanford fans. Can you talk a little bit about what that meant to you guys?
Yeah, so it's notorious that every 4 years that this Stanford game kind of is a Cal home game. It's always been like that, and I hate to admit it that the only time we really won was when there was no fans at all, at COVID year. I remember rushing the field at Cal Memorial Stadium, just no one was there. So I think we played best with no audience at all, because it's always been a home game no matter where it was. And so it's just phenomenal that it still is a home game for Cal.
I mean, it's just how important the game is. I think that the Cal fans and the community really showed up today, and I mean, we needed their energy. atmosphere the whole game. So I appreciate them people.
Lorenzo?
Hey, so Craig, like, you've actually had a different DB coach since you've been here. I mean, I remember Gerald Alexander brought you in, and then briefly Coach Yates, and now Trey. But how glad are you that you stayed at Cal the whole time, even when they were going through those cycle of changes?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough just having different coaches, but, you know, Will Cox really brought in the people that was, you know, going to put us in the best position to succeed. So I'm happy that, you know, Coach Trey and Coach Brown is here. They give a really good insight, give a really good tools and knowledge about the game of football and just outside of football as well. And, you know, I think they really helped me develop in my time here. So I appreciate those guys.
We'll go one more from the room, Emmanuel, then I'll have one on Zoom.
Yeah, Craig, I just want to ask you about your, kind of your emotions about winning the Axe 3 years in a row.
Yeah. Man, at this point, I expect to win the Axe. Honestly, like, you know, it's emotional in the sense of just, you know, I'm happy that, you know, we can get the win for the team and for the fans, the community. But every time we play Stanford, I expect to win the Axe. Like I said, it's the Cal Axe.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll wrap it up with one final question from Maria on Zoom. Go ahead, Maria.
There, on Wednesday when we talked, you said you're gonna miss, what you're gonna miss the most is the feeling of winning. How do you feel right now?
I can't even describe it right now. I think storming the field, having those fans, I think I took maybe 40 to 50 selfies with people I have no idea. And somehow knowing my first name basis and know my last name too, and like who I am, where I came from, it's just different here. Just like the difference between winning the Axe at a place across the bay and here is just a world's difference. This team really came together. I think the energy is there, the fans are there, everything's just there compared to what it was in the last 2 years for me. So I can't describe it. I think it's gonna wear on me after my adrenaline sets off. I think I'm still a little juiced after the game.